In the year 793, a cataclysmic event sent shockwaves through medieval Europe, the infamous Viking raid on Lindisfarne. This once peaceful monastery, nestled on a small island off England's northeast coast, became ground zero for a dramatic turning point in history, heralding the dawn of the Viking Age. But the assault on Lindisfarne was more than just an act of pillaging and plunder. It was a violent collision of civilizations, a moment that shattered the fragile sense of security in the Christian world and foreshadowed the relentless Norse incursions that would reshape the British Isles and beyond. As we delve into this captivating topic, we'll explore how this audacious attack on a sacred site, home to a renowned monastery, sent tremors throughout the Christian world. The Vikings, often portrayed as ruthless warriors, were also skilled traders and explorers, and their arrival at Lindisfarne heralded a new era of conflict and exchange. But why should we care about an event that happened over 1,000 years ago? Understanding the Viking raid on Lindisfarne helps us grasp the complexities of medieval society, the vulnerabilities of religious institutions, and the far-reaching consequences of such invasions. It's a story of fear, resilience, and transformation that resonates even today. So join us as we unravel the layers of this historical event, examining its significance and the lasting legacy it left on the world. Get ready to embark on a journey through time, where we'll uncover the mysteries and impacts of the Viking raid on Lindisfarne. To fully understand the Viking raid on Lindisfarne in 793, we must first explore the socio-political climate of 8th century Scandinavia. During this period, the region was characterized by a patchwork of small kingdoms and tribal societies, often engaged in internal conflicts and power struggles. The harsh environment and limited arable land led many Norsemen to seek new opportunities beyond their borders, fostering a culture of exploration and expansion. The Vikings, known for their seafaring prowess, emerged as formidable warriors and traders. Their motivations for raiding were multifaceted. While some sought wealth and resources, others were driven by the desire for land, glory, and the chance to establish their own settlements. The allure of rich, unprotected monasteries like Lindisfarne became particularly enticing, as they were often filled with valuable treasures and lacked the defenses of fortified towns. Lindisfarne, a small island off the coast of Northumberland, was not just any target. It was a significant center of Christianity in England. The monastery housed priceless relics and manuscripts, making it a symbol of religious devotion and wealth. Its isolation also made it vulnerable to sudden attacks. For the Vikings, raiding Lindisfarne represented an opportunity to strike at the heart of Christian Europe, showcasing their power while simultaneously enriching themselves. As we delve deeper into this historical backdrop, we'll uncover how these factors converged to set the stage for one of the most infamous raids in history. The Viking raid on Lindisfarne unfolded with shocking speed and ferocity on June 8, 793. Early in the morning, as the monks of the monastery were engaged in their daily prayers, a fleet of longships appeared on the horizon. These sleek vessels, designed for speed and agility, carried a group of Norse warriors ready to strike. The element of surprise was a crucial advantage, allowing the Vikings to launch their attack before the monks could mount any effective defense. Once ashore, the Vikings employed swift and brutal tactics. They quickly overwhelmed the unprepared monks, using their superior weaponry and combat skills to instill fear and chaos. The raiders targeted the monastery's treasures, seizing gold, silver, and sacred relics, while also committing acts of violence against the inhabitants. The attack was not just about plunder, it was a calculated demonstration of power, sending a clear message to other Christian communities about the vulnerability of their sacred spaces. The immediate effects of the raid were devastating. The once thriving monastery, a center of learning and spirituality, was left in ruins. Many monks were killed or captured, while others fled in terror. The loss of invaluable manuscripts and relics marked a significant cultural blow to the region. In the aftermath, the raid sent shockwaves throughout England and beyond, prompting a reevaluation of security measures in monasteries and altering the perception of the Viking threat. This event marked the beginning of a new era of Viking incursions, forever changing the landscape of medieval Europe. The Viking raid on Lindisfarne had profound and far-reaching consequences that rippled through the local community and the broader church. In the immediate aftermath, the once thriving monastery was left in disarray, with many monks either killed or forced to flee. The local community, which had relied on the monastery for spiritual guidance and education, faced a deep sense of loss and vulnerability. The attack shattered the peace of the region, instilling fear among the populace and prompting many to seek refuge in fortified locations. The raid also set a precedent for future Viking expeditions. News of the riches found at Lindisfarne spread quickly, enticing more Norsemen to venture southward in search of similar opportunities. This led to a series of raids across the British Isles, as Vikings targeted not only monasteries, but also towns and villages, further destabilizing the region. The success of the Lindisfarne raid demonstrated the effectiveness of their tactics and encouraged a wave of Norse exploration and settlement. In the long term, the raid had significant implications for Anglo-Saxon England. It marked the beginning of a period of heightened conflict and insecurity, forcing kingdoms to strengthen their defenses and rethink their military strategies. The vulnerability exposed by the raid also contributed to the eventual fragmentation of Anglo-Saxon rule, paving the way for greater Viking influence and settlement in England. Ultimately, the raid on Lindisfarne was not just an isolated incident. It was a catalyst for change that reshaped the political and cultural landscape of medieval England for centuries to come. The Viking raid on Lindisfarne holds a prominent place in the cultural narrative of both Viking and Anglo-Saxon history. Its dramatic nature has inspired countless representations in literature and media, from historical novels to films and television series. Works like The Last Kingdom and Vikings have brought the story of Lindisfarne to a modern audience, blending historical fact with creative storytelling. These portrayals often emphasize the clash of cultures, the valor of the Vikings, and the tragedy faced by the monks, contributing to a complex understanding of this pivotal event. The raid has also played a crucial role in shaping the Viking legacy. It is often cited as the event that marked the beginning of the Viking Age, a period characterized by exploration, trade, and conquest. The image of the Viking as a fierce warrior and seafarer was solidified through this raid, influencing how subsequent generations perceive Norse culture. The raid serves as a symbol of the Vikings' impact on Europe, illustrating their dual nature as both raiders and settlers. Interest in Viking history and culture remains robust today, fueled by archaeological discoveries and popular media. Museums, documentaries, and academic studies continue to explore the complexities of Viking society, including their art, mythology, and daily life. The raid on Lindisfarne, as a significant historical event, continues to captivate scholars and enthusiasts alike, ensuring that the legacy of the Vikings endures in contemporary culture. This ongoing fascination highlights the importance of understanding our past and the narratives that shape our identities. In this video, we've journeyed through the significant historical event of the Viking raid on Lindisfarne in 793, a moment that marked the dawn of the Viking Age and reshaped the landscape of medieval Europe. We explored the socio-political climate of 8th century Scandinavia, which fueled the Vikings' motivations for raiding, and highlighted Lindisfarne's importance as a target due to its wealth and religious significance. We detailed the events of the raid itself, showcasing the swift and brutal tactics employed by the Vikings and the immediate devastation experienced by the monastery and its inhabitants. We also examined the aftermath of the raid, discussing its impact on the local community and church, as well as how it influenced future Viking expeditions. The long-term effects on Anglo-Saxon England were profound, leading to increased insecurity and the eventual fragmentation of power in the region. Finally, we reflected on the cultural significance of the raid, noting its representation in literature and media, its role in shaping the Viking legacy, and the ongoing interest in Viking history and culture. As we conclude, we encourage you to reflect on the historical significance of the Viking raid on Lindisfarne and its lasting implications. If you found this exploration insightful, please consider subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and sharing it with others who might be interested in learning more about this fascinating period in history.